Hello everyone. Quick announcement before we get into the reading. I just wanted to let everyone know that I have started two things. One is my Patreon site where I will be uploading all of the extended portions of the videos, the in-depth look of the videos and readings. Sometimes when I do the clarifying cards, and I put a bit of extra material. All of that is now going to be over on Patreon, as well as I've finally been able to start my tarot and oracle deck unboxing and review series. And I'm going to be starting to unbox various tarot decks, review them in depth with you, and each month these decks will be given away in a monthly member giveaway. So in order to be eligible for the giveaway, you just have to join my Patreon site, and the cost of being a patron over there, I just ask for $1 a month, and that's it. There's one tier, one amount to join, and it's just a way, just simply a way for me to be able to facilitate these reviews and to be able to give out these beautiful decks. The more people join, the more patrons I have, the more decks I will review each month, and the more decks I will give away. So, for those of you who want to see the unboxing, go straight to the link. I'll include the link here and in the description box, and you'll find out more information about the series and my Patreon site there. Or you can go directly to my Patreon site and see the extended unboxing and review video there. All right, guys, thank you so much. And without further ado, straight to the reading. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the August love reading for the sign of Cancer. Water sign of the crab. Alright, and we're going to do the usual. Get out your Romance Angel Oracle cards for your two energies. You and your person. I hope everyone's doing good. Cancers, cross-watchers, you're always welcome. And newbies, thank you for stopping by my channel and taking a moment to watch this reading. I do hope something resonates with you and you take a moment to go ahead and subscribe if it does, or thumbs up. Your first card out is going to be Soulmate, Cancer. Beautiful. Soulmate energy, and we have You Deserve Love. So this is great. These two are very complementary cards, but we won't know exactly what's going on until we pull out your reading, your deck, your spread, your 9-card spread. It is safe for you to love. Now this is, I think, the third time this card has come out for this series of readings. It's quite interesting. So maybe a lot of people collectively feeling maybe a little bit insecure, feeling like it's time to open up your heart a bit more. Maybe you're done being insecure. Maybe you're ready to step out. And you do feel like it's time, that you deserve love, that it's safe for you to love. But we'll see what the spread says. All right, for our Cancer, show me what's going on. For our lovely Cancers, this August 2019 love reading. Sign of the crab. Water sign, show me. All right, Cancer, we're going to get your spread right out. All right, and out the gate, we start off with 9 of Pentacles. All right, beautiful. 5 of Cups. We have 2 of Cups. Beautiful love, duality, coming together, bonding. We have 4 of Cups. So, looking for stability in relationships. 9 of Cups, a lot of cup cards. Very emotional time for you, Cancer. 6 of Wands, so there seems to be a victory that's coming in for you. You have a wish fulfillment at the center of your reading. 9 of Cups. Here we go, that trusty 10 of Swords, that death of the ego, time for something new. Let's move this up a little bit. And then we've got Three of Swords, pain, right? Heartache. And the Moon, all right? So, bottom of the deck, we have the Sun. All right, so the Sun card, of course, is beautiful. Makes you, Sun card's been coming up with a lot of readings as well this period. It's quite interesting. There tends to be a trend with some of the readings at certain times. But of course, the Sun, we know what the Sun talks about: affirmations, confirmation, right? Feeling good, feeling like you're at the right place at the right time. You feel very youthful, very independent. You feel very positive. The Sun indicates a whole positivity, right? A joy. You see that the young child there is bare, right? So there's this feeling of being able to be comfortable, be bare, be who you are, be yourself, be your individual self. Sometimes being in the Sun, you can be there by yourself. It's difficult for others to follow you, right? But nevertheless, you're feeling very good. So there's a lot of good vibes going on with you right now, Cancer, for the most part. You're getting a lot of affirmations in that you're on the right path. Let's get right into it. You've got Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles, again, like I always say, the nines of the suits indicate a certain alienation or separateness from the rest of society. And here we have the figure that's really worked for her garden, right? She's with the falcon on her hand, that indicates that she has a mastery of her skill. She has a lot of skills, different skills to do with floral and fauna, with the animals and the gardens, right? And the green, the Mother Nature. She knows how to work for things. Nine of Pentacles. She's made it all the way up to the nine. She's made it, all this abundance has come from her own hand, right? Her blood, sweat, and tears, as it were. She's very similar to the Queen of Pentacles. But here with the nine, she's alone in the garden, right? And so the last step for her, before she gets to that 10 of Pentacles, where you have total abundance and completion and love, she understands that to really enjoy everything she's worked for, she's got to open up and share, right? So do you deserve love? It's safe for you to love. It could be that Cancer, you're quite comfortable, right? You're quite comfortable financially. And you may be working well. You may have worked quite well for a long time, right? But now you find yourself that it's ready. You're ready. You're ready to share. You're ready to share all of the things that you've achieved. You're ready to find love. And I think that you're feeling that right now, after all of this work that you've put in and all of these rewards that have come back. There's still kind of a sense of loneliness there. And so sometimes that can be a sign that you are truly ready now, to open yourself up to the possibility of love. Sometimes we work our whole lives, we just work and work and work to get ready, to get ready, to get ready. And then we see half of our lives have passed by and we just haven't made the room in our lives for a relationship. We have a Five of Cups here, so it's interesting. There must have been some relationships in the past that have really caused you some heartache because you still continue to ruminate on them. You still continue to think about them. They still cause you some pain, right? They can be quite distracting. Five is the number for power struggle, but here we talk about an internal power struggle because part of you wants to wallow in pity and the other side of you really knows that you need to just lift your head and look at the other options that you have coming in, that there's no need to despair. So the Five of Cups, talks about an internal struggle that we have sometimes when we choose to kind of wallow in sadness. And when I say wallow, I know that sounds a bit harsh, but it is kind of like that, right? Sometimes it seems to be easier to choose to be sad sometimes than it is to go ahead and make a move towards change, right? Changing, letting go. Funnily enough, I think that a lot of us as humans, we find that letting go or that change or realizing something is over is one of the hardest things for us to face up to. And so we would even rather hold on to the pain of a broken relationship than to completely let it go and move forward. There seems to be a sense of panic sometimes when we have to let things go, when we have to admit that they're over, right? Even when it comes to pain sometimes. Right. I wonder if that doesn't just harken back to just our, just that kind of instinctual sense that one day our lives will be over, right? One day our lives will end and we will die, like we all do, like everything does, right? And so I think that maybe this resistance to let go, it's just something that is very deep instinctual in us as humans. It's kind of like a primal fear. Because we're conscious of the fact that we die. Unlike some animals who don't have that self-awareness, we have self-awareness. And so we find it's almost like having a little death in those moments of life, right? When you need to change or you need to move or a relationship needs to end or your pain needs to end. Sometimes people find it difficult just to let go of their pain because their pain is still a comfortable place for them. You know, it's what they're used to and they don't have to work too hard, right? They can just stay in that zone, that kind of, you know, sad for themselves zone, right? But the truly sad thing is that you're missing other opportunities. And so right now, you know, take care of this energy because you do deserve love. It is safe for you to love. And I almost wonder if you're kind of like Cancer, you being a very emotional, fluid kind of sign, it could be that you're just like teetering on this edge where you could go either way. You could either just kind of fall back into kind of depression about the past, or you could lean the other way and make those steps towards a positive kind of expansive future. And so the Five of Cups is dead center on top of the reading. So you want to take care of that energy and really be mindful of it. Because it's certainly the other message with the Five of Cups is that there absolutely are other options there. You see 2 other cups there. So this is not in doubt. That we're not doubting here that there are options. The symbolism is there. Right? So we have to just lift our heads and look for it. Now here we go with 2 of Cups coming in, and it's almost as if the minute that this is why I say teetering, right, on the edge, because just as you could go either way, in comes this connection, right? You find you have a connection this month. It could be a soulmate connection. 2 of Cups is very indicative of soulmate energy, coming together as equals. It's the duality of 2. The meaning, and it's not oftentimes people interpret 2 as being a choice. In some theologies it is. 2 can indicate a choice sometimes, I guess, in certain pagan traditions, but numerology is different for a lot of traditions. And for the tarot, the traditional tarot, we look at the 2 as being representative of duality, a balance, right? A balance between 2 people, 2 options, 2 forces, 2 energies. And here, a true soulmate energy relationship must have a real balance. It must have a real equal duality of respect for each other and care and love for each other. And that's what endures this connection. So yeah, you get a very strong connection coming in. However, interestingly enough, there's this feeling, there is the connection, but you're just not quite buying it, right? You know, even though you feel good about it, I think you're learning your lesson of here. So maybe this was good to kind of ruminate about these past relationships just in time for this 2 of Cups to come in. Because after thinking back on some of these other relationships and what you had to put up with, these 3 empty cups, now somebody comes and offers you a cup and you're just not prepared to take it until you know what they're offering you. Right? You want to maintain stability. You seek stability in your relationships right now, right? You don't want unstable relationships. And so you finally learn, or I would say finally, not because of you, but in general, it takes people a long time, all signs a long time to seem to learn this lesson that at some point you have to just wait. You have to just choose not to take the cup until you're sure it's what you want. It's okay to require that people prove themselves to a certain degree, that people show who they are to you, that people follow up their words with actions before you choose the cup. This idea that, it's we live in this kind of society where, on the one hand, it's quite strange. On the one hand, we have this intense, people are constantly standing up for each other, themselves, right? It's the American way to stand up for yourself. And God forbid somebody touches your car or does something to your property, you're ready to run and sue and fight and everything, right? But then when we talk about relationships, it's like people can just simply bulldoze each other over with words, empty promises. And it's like, this idea, we're meant to believe that this idea that we should require somebody to show and prove. This is what we call show and proving. Let them show and prove before you accept the cup, before you make a commitment to them. There's so many assumptions that we make. We don't even realize that we're making these assumptions, right? It's one of the biggest lessons, I think, of our time right now. Certainly when people give you a cup and they say certain words to you, you're making an assumption if you just accept those words blindly without any backup or proof or evidence, right? So you've already made the assumption that this person is honest and true, and so therefore they don't need to prove anything. Somehow they've gotten a pass, right? This virtual stranger you've just met. They somehow have a pass. Why? Because they said the right words. They told you they loved you, or they told you you were pretty, or they treated you nice at a time where you weren't feeling good about yourself, or what have you. So here we learn this lesson that to have real stability in relationships, you must exercise patience. You must exercise discipline and boundaries. And you mustn't be afraid to require that somebody step to the plate for you. Because if you have to push someone, I heard someone say once before that if you have to push a man or a woman into a relationship, you will have to push them through the relationship. Meaning that if from the very onset you don't require a certain standard from them and you're willing to just accept anything and kind of drag them into this relationship with assumptions, right, while they haven't actually made any promises at all, then you will have to continue doing that throughout the entire relationship. And so jumping on empty cups is really a waste of time. Unless that's the kind of relationship you want, unless you want to put all that effort into something like that. And so this is a great lessons for you that you're learning. I think that's come out of this going back and reviewing some of your past issues. In the center you have 9 of Cups, which is also wish fulfillment. So again, another 9. And here in 9 of Cups, we do see that the character is again separate from his cups. He's kind of separate from all of these wishes that he's gotten, all of these. He's gotten everything he wanted, everything that makes him feel good, everything that he desires. He's almost spoiled in a little way, but he's still very separate, and there isn't that deep connection that you get then with the 10 of Cups. And again, he learns this lesson that be careful what you wish for. Now, 9 of Cups can also imply that there's a particular wish that's being fulfilled, right? So that's a very specific interpretation of the card. And it could be that your specific wish is that you found your soulmate. And it may just be getting fulfilled with this individual. However, that's fine. Even if you do feel like they're your soulmate, you're still absolutely correct to make them step to the plate. Just because you may feel like this person is the one for you, that doesn't mean that you now throw away all of their responsibilities and duties to you. You still have to hold them accountable. Right? Or else this could very well turn into an extremely toxic relationship very quickly if on the outset there are no boundaries set. All right, so this wish fulfillment comes in, and I wonder, you do kind of feel like, oh wow, I think you're feeling kind of like the cat who got the cheese, because you really feel like this person may be extremely attractive. It could be that a lot of people are interested in them, but they somehow have come closer to you, and you definitely feel lately like you're having a bit of a victory. Like everything's coming up Cancer, right? And it's feeling good. right? There may have been quite a while now since you felt this way, since you felt on top, since you felt confident. And I love the Six of Wands because the Six of Wands is six is the number for harmony. So you're in harmony. You're walking in harmony. You're walking with positive vibes and energy, right? But something legitimately virtuous that you've done, some task that you've accomplished or goal that you've accomplished, you're getting recognition for. And everyone's laying their eyes on you. There's this card, indicative of this card is a little level of fame, right? Even the horse is looking, if you can see here, even the horse is looking back at his rider like, wow, you're really something, aren't you? Right? And so these little victories are really beautiful. When you have a victory, don't shy away from it. The mistaken idea that we should be so pious and that we should not enjoy material possessions and all of these kind of really erroneous ideas of what it is to be spiritual. When you have, because Wands is about creativity, you've succeeded in a very creative way and you're getting your accolades for it. Whenever you have victories like this, bathe in them, enjoy them, allow these type of victories to fill up your soul and to fill your reservoir of self-confidence. Okay, because how can we build our self-confidence and our self-esteem if we're always telling ourselves that we aren't deserving of things, right? That we shouldn't be happy in victory, that we shouldn't be happy in abundance, that we need to be pious and broke. Well, let me tell you something. Broke people don't say that. Only people who've not been broke say, oh, it's good to be broke and to give up, material possessions because that helps you get closer to the spiritual. That's rubbish, because the material plane is part of our existence. Our bodies are part of the material plane. Our soul energy has been poured into a body that is part of the material plane. So to deny the significance of that plane is just to deny the kind of just the way energies and the way the spirit truly works in us. And so, like I said, when you have these victories, please enjoy them, take them in, don't let them be wasted. And don't let other people waste them for you, because here you go. After this victory, I think it's finally the last push you needed to finally come to an end of quite a long period of pain. You've had a lot of pain, you've had a lot of scars, a lot of battles. It could be you've gone through perhaps a lot of really bad relationships, or maybe one bad relationship that was on and off until finally you couldn't handle, you just couldn't take it anymore. Not that you couldn't handle it, you could handle it, but you just couldn't take it anymore, right? The Ten of Swords, though, is a good card because it means that you're at the end of a journey or a stage in your life that has been very painful. And so now you're ready to resurrect with your new sense of self, your new sense of personality, which is the ego, right? The ego is our personality. How we, how our character, our personality, that's what we associate with our sense of self. That's our ego, right? And our ego gets stomped on and brutalized throughout our lives, and sometimes through a certain process or journey, our ego gets stomped and brutalized and questioned and so many times and so much that finally it's obliterated. And that sense of self, that ego, that personality, those character traits no longer apply to you. You've gone through too much experience, and so now you simply can't turn back into that person. You have to change, you have to evolve. And so the Ten of Swords tells us that it's time now to be at the end of this difficult time and to now begin a time of what promises to be potentially a more prosperous and harmonious time, because we're now starting over with the Ace, right? With inspiration, with new ideas, a fresh start. Three of Swords has come in, so there has been some, I wonder, Three of Swords is under this Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment. And interestingly enough, with the aspects of how the cards are laid around, I wonder if there hasn't been some third-party energy, and that this victory that you're getting here, it may be that you're being vindicated in this scenario, right? So it may be that you went through something in the past, right, that caused you a lot of heartache, and that something was the Three of Swords moment. Now, Three of Swords hurts because it's a swords card, and so it indicates somebody who's been cheating, lying, unfaithful. 3 is the number for bonding, loyalty, and patience. So when we look at it as being a discordant card like Three of Swords, it indicates someone who hasn't been loyal, right? Who hasn't been patient, who's rushed out and just stomped all over the relationship. They haven't been loyal. They haven't been faithful. They've pulled away rather than coming close and bonded. They've used their words and their actions to hurt you, so they may have been very cruel verbally to you, right? And so this is the pain of the Three of Swords, but I wonder if this wish fulfillment that you've got, this vindication coming in, and this little victory might not be to do with this, because you may have been, maybe that when this scenario actually went down, you know, maybe everybody looked at you as being the bad guy or the bad girl or whatever, right? But now it's interesting that you're kind of coming around. You're getting this victory. You do have the Sun, which also talks about affirmations. And I just wonder if this Three of Swords scenario isn't being revisited. Because I don't see it as a present day heartache. I see it as a past heartache that's being revisited in some kind of way. Somehow this wish fulfillment has something to do with this leftover energy. It could be that the person who screwed you over or stabbed you in the back or who hurt you is somehow getting a bit of their own comeuppance, right? Maybe they're being proven to be a homewrecker or what have you, something like that. And now that that's all coming to light, everybody sees that it wasn't you, it was them. It could be one of those type of scenarios. And so you're coming out of a situation where before you may have been feeling like really down, you may have been feeling like the one that everybody was attacking, and now you're kind of coming out on top and saying, see, I told you that person wasn't no good. I told you that person wasn't shit, you know? But interesting, we still have the Moon card. So after all of that, there's some lingering issues here. I feel like you're in a messy kind of situation. So because this Three of Swords scenario has come up again, and it may be, yeah, you may be getting vindicated. You may be getting some of your wish fulfillment, and the end of a long journey of pain may have come, right? However, you have Moon energy still coming in after that. So there's still some clarity. There's still some things that haven't come to light. There's still information that you're not being told or being made aware of. So just take care with that, right? Just take care of that. I do believe that this Two of Cups is quite separate from this Three of Swords. I think this Three of Swords is very much to do with this Five of Cups. Previous energy, right? Previous relationships, previous negative relationships, and this is kind of still a little bit of that fallout. It could be that you're still dealing with the people who were involved with this Three of Swords, right? And so by still dealing with the scenario, you're being pulled right back into this Moon world with them of he said, she said, not really being sure, you know, carrying on the bickering instead of just letting it go. It may be that you want to just let this go and walk towards the sun instead of staying in this kind of dark, confusing, kind of misleading energy, right? Because whoever is involved with this Three of Swords is quite toxic. All right, so I'm going to call it. This is your August reading, Cancer, for 2019. Now, if you want to go ahead and see the extended portion of this video where I do pull clarity cards from the Thoth deck, and I also pull a Sacred Rebel Oracle deck, and we go over that, then you can just go ahead and bounce over to my Patreon site and watch the extended video over there. To join my Patreon site is only $1 a month, and it's only one tier. You have access to everything over there with that membership. All right, folks. So if this resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share below. Tell us how if you're dealing with a situation that's a little bit messy like this and you've got this new love coming in. I'd be quite curious to hear from you how you're dealing with it. But for right now, Cancer, you know how much I love you. You have a wonderful, wonderful August 2019. I'll see you mid-month for the mid-month love check-in. Bye-bye now.